So the snap is very, is very important for me. The snap is very, very important for me. Uh, when the price is above 50 level, is marked at 80 to 20. The price is above 50 level. That is when I want to buy. If the price is below 50 level, I want to sell. As in this case, you can see that the price is above 50 level, which means I want to buy. But you don't just come in to buy. You have to wait. There are other things that you have to wait for before you buy. RSI, the snap RSI above 50 level, it's a good indication that you can buy. But then you have to wait until the stock RSI resets down. So you want your stock RSI at least to get to the level here at 20. You want it. Emmanuel, please.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Mute your. Okay, thank you. So you want your price. Your blue is the price, please. Your blue is the price. You can see in this case, your blue is the price. So if your blue crosses the red, so the blue must be above 50, and once it crosses the red up, it's a good buy for you. The 4-hour candle, 4-hour chart. But at the point you want to buy, also buy, it's when the price had resetted, because here it's telling us there's a pullback. You can see the way the price is crashing down here. The price is really down here. For this, we're not interested in oversold or overbought for the stock ISI. We don't really need that. We just use it for entry, okay? So once the price is at this level, at the low level here, when the price is at the low level here of 20 at least, and the snap RSI, which is the very important RSI, is above 50, I want to buy. If it's below 50, it's a good sell. Once the price here is resetted to something close to 80 or thereabout, it's a good sell. But using it to plan entry, it is first 1 hour that we have to look at. You have to look at it at 1 hour. If it's at 1 hour, it is below, you don't want to buy. So you can see that at 1 hour, it is below 50. You don't want to buy it. But this thing is telling you that very soon you're going to buy, because even this has resetted down. So there's still the chance for the price to go down, because now price is trying to pull back, so the price is trying to pull back. So we are going to wait until you see this blue line try to cross 50 on the 1 hour. That is when it's good to buy. But your confirmation, of course, is on the 4 hour and the daily. So when you have it above, this is telling me that is a good buy already. So we're in a buy. This is what it's telling me. We're in a buy, but you can't just buy at this level. You are going to switch to 1 hour to plan your buy. Then when you look at your daily candle, if your RSI is above 50, as you have in this case, you are telling us this is good buy. So this thing is buying, okay? It's buying. It's a confirmation that it's buying. So the RSI, the snap is above 50 on the daily candle. It is above 50 also on the 4-hour candle, as you can see, above 50. But on the 1 hour candle, it is below. So you are using this 1 hour candle to plan your entry. Once this thing crosses above 1 hour, on 1 hour time frame, it crosses above 50. that is the point that you say is good to buy. At times, you can put your entry, you can put alert or alarm or notification at this thing level because it has opportunity of giving you what they call it. But if you don't have a pro level, you might not be able to do that. It can give you an alert. You can add alerts. You can see. You can add alert on the snap. So you can do that. Can you see? You can. This is snap. Add alert on the snap. You can actually do it and tell yourself at what level. Probably at 51. So once the thing gets to 51, you want it to send an alert and say, okay, oh, it's a good time to buy. And if you want to even buy at that level, also you have to now check your. You have to check this your 4-hour. Then again, most importantly, you have to check where you have your correction happening. If the price of the candle, because the first thing actually we look at is the 1-hour candle closing above the level of the correction. So if the 1-hour candle break above the level of the correction, the next thing you should look at is your snap at 1 hour. You look at your snap at 1 hour and then you look at this before you jump into to buy. That's how to come. Apart from the analysis that we do, that is what we can also use to confirm our entry. I don't know if you have any question on this snap and the stock RSI. We don't really use it as an overbought or this one as an overbought or oversold. No, price can actually be here and you're still going for that up. So, but this one is very good for entry, and you really want it to reset low before you join it. So resetting low is like the pullback is almost complete, and you have a cross of 1 hour candle at your 1 hour time frame before you say, okay, you want to join it. Do we have any question on this?
No, for me.
Okay, all right. So let me take my snap and all this thing away. So we have told ourselves what is likely to play out here. It's better for us to, these are the levels. Once the price turns back, this is the level I want to exit. All those ones are marked out, but my entry is not yet marked out. You know, all my entries that I'm thinking I want to use, they are still very, down here, here, and here. But then I'm not going to just, enter anyhow. I'm going to wait for corrections to occur before I join the trade. So most of the time, people don't wait for correction. You think that, oh, this thing is going to go beyond you, beyond your reach. Allow the price to break above, it will still come back. So Euro USD is likely to break below, but this level is the first level that I'm thinking that, okay, if the price gets here and break below it, then it's likely to break more lower. This level is the level of 61.8 FIB. So I always mark that level. So once the price should get here and 1 hour candle closing below this level on the 4-hour time frame, I know the price can get here and break it, and I have to wait. These are just.
I'm actually in this trade actually because I saw it on Friday and I took the buy on the Euro USD.
Okay.
And when it turned, I was a bit surprised, but I marked the 618 as well because I thought it was actually broken and it was going to give me an impulse from the consolidation at the bottom. So I marked the 618 as well, that I'm going to wait till and see the reaction of price on that 618 zone. But you've given me a bigger picture that the buy may not even be ready right now. Yeah. Because I can see with the DXY that the pullback to 2 is deeper. Going to happen later, but not after a correction, not until after a correction. So I get it. It's likely it fails the 618 and goes back all the way to retest.
It's likely.
Consolidate for some time. Yeah. Okay.
It's likely. But we might be having a switch back up by Wednesday or Thursday. So it's possible. We might be having a switch back up. So usually by the time we know, we look for a big break, an impulsive wave. A big candle is what will tell us first that these people are ready to move, not all these small candles that we saw. And when we see that, at times we tell ourselves these people are still coming down. They're still coming down. It's still a fight here. And
what the rule of momentum.
What they do really is to move up and send a dummy for the retailers to join the trade when they know that they still want to cash out here. And they are big players. They'll still take it down. And when you expect that it's going to be here, they might now do a what? A regular flat at this level. If it's a regular flat, it's at this level. Because what I'm looking at is like, even if you test this thing, if you look at the fib of this thing, because it's good to know this thing. When you take this from this, compare with this wave now, this particular wave, this where we want to test this, is it going to be a regular or a running or whatever? So if you test with that and you take it up to this level, so you will know that even at this level, this is 78, price at price 61 to 78 going down is at 90, about 90. So when price is at 90, what stop it from giving you an 100, and what stop you from giving you an extension of 1.2 or 1.4? Do you understand? So, and I think that those extensions, and that's why we have to be very careful. Those extensions will get to this level. If it's going to have 100, it comes here. If it's going to do an extension down, then around this zone is where it will just terminate. Yeah. So, and that is what we are looking at. So, but let it tell us that they want to go up with a correction. So they're going to give a corrective pattern to tell us that. So once they break that corrective pattern upwards, that's when to join them. Now, let me look at another one very fast. Another one I'm going to look at it. The card. All the while I was really patient about the card CHF, and I told you that don't worry, these are just gimmicks. Don't mind them. These are just gimmicks, and when you observe the corrective pattern, you will know. Let me do something first. Yeah, when you see this is a move, to this side, and the first thing they would do again, it's like in this case they want to change trend, a big move down. When they give you a big move down, people want to follow a big move down, but they're going to correct it. And that is one thing we have to be very careful. See, once they are going to end something, they move up and they got here and it's a corrective wave to this side. They move up again. They now gave a corrective wave upwards. Can you see? This is a corrective wave and a big move down. So they move down, they give another corrective wave up, and they begin their mess here. And at this point, to give this wave, we know that CHF has the strength to go down with this wave. So what we'll be experiencing is a corrective pattern from the card to push the price up collectively. And so with that clearly, with that understanding, all I can do is to look for my wave 1 here, which I did, and this is where I expect my wave 2 to terminate if it's going to get there. Okay, but now we add this move and we add this correction. Okay, we add this correction, is a corrective wave pattern here. In the middle here, the price went down. So this was what everybody was scared of. But with this kind of a move, all I can expect is a corrective pattern. It's a big move also in the middle. If this had been a correction, this move by the bears has been a correction, then I might think that the price is going to go further up. They are giving a correction around this area that tells me that these people are going to come down. So they came down, and while I was watching this move, I could see nothing but a correction. So when you switch to 1 hour time frame, you will see it much better that it's nothing but a correction. And now they are starting a big move down. But what do I see here? I want to see what price is going to do here. Would price stall here? Will it stall here? If they stall around this area, maybe they're going to push towards this level here. Maybe they're going to push. If they are done with their correction here, price will get to this point, pull back some more before going further down. So these are the zone we expect price action to see how far can this thing go before they correct it upwards. But CAD also is also weak at this time. So let's switch back to the 4-hour candle. So now looking at the 4-hour candle, you will now see clearly, but this is nothing but a correction. So when you see a move like this, because you saw this candle and this candle and this candle, you thought, oh, they are going to, I'm seeing nothing but a correction, because I've been following corrections. You can see the move here, a correction, a big move. They now had a bigger correction here. When the bigger correction came, another move, a correction, and a fall. Now, this corrected, this is like a move to the upside. They did some consolidation here before this move, a correction down, a move, a correction down. After this correction down, I should expect a bigger move. So they didn't give a bigger move, they were doing a correction upwards. So when they do a correction upward, they are telling you that they want to move down. That is how to actually read these things at times. So you should have expected a bigger move upwards after this correction downwards, but instead of now having a bigger move downward, it was another correction. So you have to look at these corrections on daily candle, the 4-hourly candle. The 1-hourly candle might not really help us to quickly spot the correction. So once you look at it, you would have drawn your trend below here across like this. Once you have this break below, you are watching. Then we now saw big move down here and a correction. So after this correction, we're going to have a big drop. So that tells us clearly the direction of this trade, the CAD CHF. So if the market opens, this is where it's going to probably get to at this the closest resistance to this candle is at the base. So we might still have a small pullback. I'm still on this trade, so we might still have a small pullback. And when it broke this, I knew when it broke the correction, so I had to draw this and draw this. I was waiting for it to break. And once it broke on Friday, I knew we are going down. So the thing sent an alert to me that we are going further down. So I knew we are going further down. So studying the correction and the pattern also would help us to be more confident. Now let's look at another trade that we are doing, USD CHF. This week, trading USD CHF is one of the best things that you can do. Trading this will be one of the best things you can do. Now, looking at this also, we had a big move down and a corrective wave like this, and a big drop and a big drop. Now, seeing this correction here, I knew, they were more or less sliding down. I knew that very soon they're going to break up. So, and exactly this is how I draw it. You can see I'd put it already there, waiting for them to break up to tell me that they are correcting upwards. So if they correct upwards, where do I expect them to correct to? And I'll be looking for another correction downward. Is at this level, these two levels. This is where I'll be looking. So I'll be surprised if they don't get to this point, because the nearest resistance to this engulfing candle here, this candle that broke this structure, is this level. But of course, price may walk up to this level. So these are the two zones I expect price to get to, 1 and 2. But this one first, and I'll be watching.
And that's a 50% level.
Exactly. So, and okay, then another thing to tell yourself, if you want to really draw, the correct Fibonacci for this, price was coming down from here. Okay.
Yeah.
Price was coming. So that's when you pick it, you can okay, or you can even use this the new move here. The new move here, you see, after this correction, the new move dropped from here. So if you want to do it from that new move, you come here, you take it down here. So 61.8 fib is here. So exactly at this level that I thought the price would get to. Okay, but the price may just walk not to get to 78, but just to get, because it's not a correction. This is an impulsive move. So if it's a correction, then you should expect that it may walk up to 78 and more, 90 or 1.2 or whatever. So, but because it's not a correction per se, it's an impulsive move here. So we expect that it might just get here, and so as not to miss immediately they start moving up. We don't want to join them because these people can catch on now. So we don't want to join them up. Let the price go up as far as the price will go. All you want to do is to, once you notice sign of weakness, draw your trend below it and wait for a break of 1 hour candle below it, and that's how we join them. So that's on the now on Eurocard. I'm quickly telling us Eurocard, just a quick recap of the trades. Eurocard. So on Eurocard,
we deleted Eurocard. We deleted
I asked us to delete it. So these are one thing I want to show on Eurocard. So if you look at Eurocard, a move to the upside, a correction, a further move to the upside, and a sharp move down. And after the sharp move, they corrected upwards, a drop, a consolidation, and a big move up. They corrected, these are very, this is a wave. That's why this one is different. It's a wave, When you have an impulsive wave, they will only do a pullback. They will do a pullback. These are giving it up to be, gave it up for me to be an impulsive wave. That's how to actually, recognize an impulsive wave. When you see that the correction is not like a deep correction, but it's like a pullback to move up, it's an impulsive. But when it's like a correction like this, I'm moving down, the direction of the market. All right. So this one now is an impulsive wave down, on this pair. But more or less, it's a correction of this entire move from here to here. So if you say this one is wave 1, and you are going to correct to wave 2, and it's slashing down to wave 2, this is where wave 2 should end. At this, where I had this thick line. So if you calculate your Fibonacci, from here, it falls around. It's on it around this area. So 618. So now what I'm waiting for is to wait. Now this is a correction downward. I want to wait and see when this thing is going to break above. But again, there's another catch to it, because it's not always that you want to wait for price to break above your trend line. Because I need to say this also, because there are two corrections that they do. They do a price correction, they do a time correction. So if you're going to do a time correction, the time correction will make this thing spread beyond your trend line. So they can just be doing their own time correction around this zone. Okay, they can do it around this zone. So meanwhile, this would have broken above this trend, beyond this trend line, and send a wrong signal to you to buy. But when you see this, the best to do is you come up here. You can see the price has not been able to break beyond here. So you are waiting in case this one does not give me what I want. So I'm waiting for price to break 1 hour candle to break above here to know that they are ready to go up, so that you don't miss it. So I have my alert there already waiting for 1 hour candle to break above here, because I assume that I can see that this one might likely fail. But again, on the strength of 6.14 6.18 whatever retracement, this is the area at most at this level is where I expect the price to bounce back upwards. So it's too early for me. This candle, this price action might mean that they want to go up or not. They can still come up here, and I think the best bet is, if anybody could afford it, is to put a small lot size around this area and watch for what is going to happen. And once the price breaks beyond it, and one can now take a bigger lot size at a retracement, at this level to go up. And where do we want to target? We want to first target here at this level. This is the level of where I will expect a 2 to get to, because this is an impulsive way. It looks impulsive to me. This is where the 2 will get to, but if we get out here and watch for price action, maybe to continue upwards, or they want to still move down, then we'll know what is going to happen. So that is how I want to engage this. euro card, but the direction really for now is upwards. Then maybe the
Is this
last
daily or hourly? Or is this daily or H4?
this is 4
This
4 hours.
chart.
This is
Okay.
4 hours. 4 hours. This 4 hours. So if the next one I want to look at is gold, and I will stop from there. Gold. So let's look at gold. And that is why one has to, you want us to be very careful. You look at structures, you look at everything before you say you want to jump in. Gold is not what you want to play with and not really get close to precise point to enter. Because if you enter anyhow, the thing can still drag you by 300 pips downward and you are looking at your account is going. So gold is now the same thing I played out. What I'm looking at from the way I'm looking at Euro USD, it might play out like that. We might actually break below here. We might actually break. We were waiting to enter here, and but looking at this sharp move, the sharp move had given it up that this is not just a correction downward. So you don't want to buy from here. So it won't make any sense to buy from here. So where it will make sense to buy is this, and I will show you why. Okay, I will show you why. This is the level that you want to buy. I will show you why. Now, looking at this, how best can I do this? How best can I do this so that let me see if I can take it up to the weekly chart for you to see the clear pictures. When I look at the weekly charts, then I see things more. So you will see things more that way. Is it ended? Okay, I think it has ended. So you're looking at this chart here. A move from here to this point, the 61.8 is where you had this orange, okay? This orange, okay? Now, this is wave 1 up, a correction. And this correction actually got to 61.8, but not more before they bounced up again. Now, we now had wave 2. Wave 2 got here. And this is 50 and the 61.8 correction. So if the price gets here, it will still be within this age-long trend support for the wave. But now, because we're on the weekly, we are considering this move here. This move here. Because this is a new move up and we had our trend in place. Okay. So you can say this is a move downward. If you want to draw, but this new trend line has not been broken. Not until it's broken that we can say, okay, the price is going to now continue to move down. But I could see that what is going to eventually happen might be that the price is going to, once we cross below here, we're going to move further down. Now, for now, this trend line is still holding its place, but I'd calculated the 61.8 and 50.8 fib retracement of this wave to be this and this, 61.8 and 50.0. Now, another thing I didn't do is to tell us that are we temporarily upwards, breaking upwards here? So let me just do that. I didn't do that before. So let's consider this.
Gold is on an impulse, I believe, and this is the third leg.
Yeah.
We've done the retracement to 618 on weekly. So this is supposed to be the third leg impulse, right?
It's on impulse, really. Because if you look at it, I think I've done it before. This is like wave 2. We're supposed to get to wave 3. And so, but looking at it, is on impulse, really. Wow. We know what to do once the time runs out. So, but now looking at this, really, we are still bullish on gold. We are still bullish on gold. not until we add this at this broken, we are still bullish on gold. So everything is still playing out within this. So this is just a temporary break to the upside. So not until we have a complete break to the downside, we're not going to go for a long time sell on gold. Now, with this correction, a wave, a correction here actually ended, I think, around, is it 50? Yeah, this should be 50. This should be 50. This ended around 50. If you are talking of wave 4, it should be, for any other currency, it should be around 38. But this is exactly at 50 level where we had this stalled. And now, we are now looking at this wave. Compared to this wave, a 61.8 fib, I think, is around this, let me see, around this level. Within this wave, if you check, a correction of 61.8, I think we are still far from it. Yeah, we are almost there. Okay, in fact, it's actually there. 61.8 is actually there. So at the top of this correction, so we had 61.8. 61.8. Then with this smaller wave now, this wave now, we want to see at what level we are to tell us the direction. So have we gone past 61.8? I think we had gone past 61.8 of that correction. So from here, no, we are taking this wave now. We are taking this wave to this level. And okay, the wave actually had gotten to exactly at 61.8 before we now begin to have this correction. Okay, so at 61.8, now we're now having this correction. So if you look at it, if you consider this wave, this is a correction, this is an impulsive wave, and this is another correction. This is another correction here on a bigger time frame. On the weekly time frame, it's giving us a correction. So it's a correction that we are looking at, but it's a big move down and a correction here. A correction there. So now that we are going to witness a sell-off, I think this correction to the upside is not done. Is not done. But at least we should be able to get to a 61.8 fib of this correction before we can say we want to come down again. We might now come down and break this bottom. Once we break this bottom, we might have a correction to rally up, maybe. So we'll wait until that. But this is a correction upwards, and we're not done correcting upwards.
The rally will give us 3 of 3, Abby?
Most likely. So most likely, if I want to...
The subwave 3 of the... Okay.
Let me see. 61 is actually at this line. So we are not there yet. We are not there yet. And that's where we should expect the TP, this line here at 1851. 1851 is where we should expect the TP. We are having a pullback here now. And let me now go to the lower time frame and look at this pullback. So we now know that whatever we are seeing here is a correction. So, and again, with this move, we have this big move to the downside again. So if you are considering movement from here to this point, you will say this is the 61.8, and from here you want to go up. I was anticipating that this is going to happen. So I already put this one there. It was a point of POC for me. So I already had this line in place, and it just went like 40 pips above it before this move. And to say you are going to buy from here will be wrong. So I see that these might actually charge below here to come here. And if that happens, we are talking of like an extended correction to this. Because even within this small wave now, you can see this is a correction, because that's how to look at it. You can see this move, and we had a correction, and this is a big move, which looked like impulsive. So we are going to have this move, first a sharp move, and it might end up in a correction towards this level, and we are going to ride the correction up as far as we can go, but we don't want to jump in. But I think the price will get to this level before moving up. There's a reason for that. So let me look at from here to here. This is actually 61.8 of the move for this wave. For this wave is exactly 61.8. Now for the bigger wave, which is here that we're looking at, for this bigger wave here, this one here, from here down here, the 61.8 is where we have this line, the broken line. So very close, very close. So between here and here is where I expect the price to move down or move backwards. And my bigger point of this one, you can see what I've just brought out, different from the section POC. The long POC actually is riding on this thick line. So let me hide it. The long POC is riding here. So I think price will not pull beyond here before it pulls backward. So I'm expecting action. These are my likely point of action to begin to buy gold. So we are going to wait. It's better for us to wait for the gold to be done selling, but gold is not going to stop here. And I don't think gold is going to stop here. It's going to break this low to get to this point. And if you're able to jump in from here, it will be a good buy for us. We might be looking at
no, hello, Doc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over
Man,
close to 700 pips. Yeah.
Whoa. Well, wow. So I'm seeing the correlation between DXY and all the trades
Exactly.
apart from CAD CHF. I'm seeing your anticipation that DXY is not done dropping yet. It's going to touch that rising wedge before it drops. So correspondingly, it means USD here will gain strength and push gold down to that expanded flag area of probably 1618 before we buy. Okay, all right. I want to establish that because, but is there a way one can get your chart as extended as it is? I understand it from the way you've shown it, but to follow the markings is a bit. Even screenshotting it alone may not yield the best of results. But this is a longer view picture of gold, and we are on another impulse, but we are still correcting under the leg 2, apparently, before we launch up. Okay, I got that. But then, are you not comfortable trading in some way? Do I get your explanation? Trading in some way that C leg of the expanded correction down.
Yeah, the thing is that one thing I've learned is that all these people, I know that the direction for now is to go up. So we are telling ourselves, how far down can they go? So when it's
because
like,
already it looks now like it could be a running.
So we are not
just turn.
So how far can they go? But I can tell you from the strength of this country that they are not going to stop here. So would they just get there and drop? So where do you want to also exit? It matters, except you have all the time to begin to watch. And one thing again, let me say something. Let me bring this POC out again. The session POC. Looking at the session POC has told me that they are pulling back here. There is nothing in the middle here to stop the price. So anything can happen. So they can play on you. They can do anything. So it is not, this is what they can decide to do. So except very close to this level that I brought this thing out. So I don't even expect the price at this level at all.